he wants Trump to be on his side. He's speaking English.
Yes. Oh, he is.
Yeah,
he is.
nice.
The first one is about him talking about immigration.
Okay.
Wokeism has also distorted the issue of immigration. The free movement of goods and people is a fundamental pillar of liberalism. We know this well. Argentina, the United States, and many other countries became great thanks to immigrants who left their homelands in search of new opportunities. However, we have shifted from attracting foreign talent to foster development to now embracing mass immigration driven not by national interest but by guilt. Since the West is supposedly the root cause of all of the world's evils in history, it must redeem itself by opening its borders to everyone, which leads to a form of reverse colonization that resembles collective suicide. So this is how we now see images of hordes of immigrants who abuse, assault, or even kill European citizens whose only sin was not adhering to a particular religion. But when someone questions these situations, they're immediately labeled racist, xenophobic, or even Nazis.
Oh boy, that's good stuff, man. He's so good.
Okay, he's not speaking.
Oh, right.
Did you not hear that? Did you understand that?
Yes.
Hold on.
Then he spoke
not him.
English.
You know what we need to do? We need to wait for the AI to work its magic, like we did last time he spoke
True.
at one of these events, where it looks like he's just
It
speaking.
was
Yeah.
at the WEF. It was at
Yeah, it
Davos.
was. Yeah, the last time was. Yeah.
He also calls the woke culture a cancer.
Oh.
Good.
Wokeism has penetrated our societies so deeply, promoted by institutions like this one, that it has even led to questioning the very concept of biological sex through the disastrous influence of gender ideology, which has resulted in even greater state intervention through absurd legislation, such as the state having to fund expensive hormone treatments and surgeries to fulfill the self-perception of certain individuals. Only now are we beginning to see the effects of an entire generation that has mutilated their bodies, encouraged by a culture of sexual relativism. And these people will have to spend their entire lives in psychiatric treatment to cope with what they have done to themselves. Yet no one dares to speak about these issues. Not only that, but the vast majority have also been subjected to the misguided self-perceptions of a tiny minority.
Okay, do we know that that's him?
Okay, right. See, okay,
Seriously.
stop. No, it's a trans.
It's just the translator?
Chris, explain how this works to him. No, actually,
He
just don't let it
speaks
go.
in
Let it go.
Spanish.
Yes.
And there's a guy in another room with headphones, and he speaks in English.
And I see that's from Rebel News, so they actually, I mean, they're there. They got a camera.
They got a
in there.
cameraman. We'll let you have a camera.
They're using the
master
Main
feed.
master
the
feed.
WEF master feed.
Yes.
They've plugged in.
And finally, he continues this gender talk that he did. It was, I'd say, from what I've seen, like 90% of his speech.
And do we know how many people were there? I mean, is he talking to like one, like
no,
our
so this
when we
was
see
during
congressmen speaking?
according to the schedule, this was like one of their not feature speakers, but it was in the main ballroom.
Okay. Oh,
So he wasn't.
they had a crowd.
He wasn't put because he was interviewed by some reporters in the little side rooms, and then this is in the main room.
All right.
These forums promote the LGBT agenda, attempting to impose the idea that women are men and men are women simply based on self-perception. And they say nothing about when a man dresses as a woman and kills his opponent in a boxing ring, or when a male prison inmate claims to be a woman and ends up sexually assaulting women in prison. In fact, just a few weeks ago, there were headlines around the world regarding the case of two gay Americans who championed the banners of sexual diversity and were sentenced to 100 years in prison for abusing and filming their adopted children for more than 2 years.
In Georgia.
I want to be clear. When I say abuse, this is no euphemism, because in its most extreme forms, gender ideology is outright child abuse. They are
Oh, that's a
pedophiles.
good crowd there.
So I want to know who would support that kind of behavior. Healthy children are being irreversibly harmed through hormone treatments and mutilation, as if a 5-year-old child could possibly consent to such things. And should their family not agree to this, there will always be state agents ready to step in favor of what they call the best interest of the child. And believe me, the scandalous experiments in the name of this criminal ideology will be condemned and likened to those committed in the darkest periods in our history. Uncovering this multitude of abhorrent practices is the eternal victimhood narrative, always ready to hurl accusations of homophobia, transphobia, and other fabricated terms, whose sole purpose is to silence those of us who dared to expose this scandal, one of which both national and international authorities are complicit.
Yes.
It's pretty bold.
Yeah, I mean, no question.
And he's laying out the groundwork for Trump.
Yes, he is.
He's a warm-up act.
Will Trump talk about his the genders, or he's just going to say, "Look, I'm pulling out of all these agreements," and
well, he already
you
has,
people
right?
could kiss my butt.
Afuera. So is all the people sitting out there? Do they have headphones on with their own native
Yes.
language? Like, how's that work? They
Yes.
plug in, they dial in. Russian.
It's like the UN, right? Like
Okay,
every
yeah.
country that doesn't understand whatever language is being spoken to, hey, go ahead and put on your headphones.
Gotcha.
Earbuds in.
I have a guy.
Earbuds in.
Each country has a guy in the back.